guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. Lots to dive into and discuss in today's video, as last night obviously we had the Pro League qualifiers come to an end for the second week in a row. We're gonna have two more PSQs obviously to take place, so a lot of content and a lot of matches still to go down, and a lot of teams obviously to still join. I think 5 more teams are still looking to join the Pro League coming up this year, but we now know the next team that will be joining in, as it came to an end last night. And we also got to talk about the overall points going on in the ALGS and the Pro League groups that these teams will be joining as well. So if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel. First thing I wanted to make mention of was coming from last night, the North American PSQ number 2, and your champion was as follows. As you can see here in the graphic, we've got Chaotic Much on this team, and obviously this one was a little bit of a shocker because you did have last year, Chaotic was playing with E8, and just a couple of weeks ago, Chaotic was playing with E8, and Chaotic for a long time was a part of this E8 roster. Not long before PSQs got ready to start, E8 decided to part ways with Chaotic Much, basically citing his lack of, I guess, desire, ambition, or just wasn't really fully there with that team. So they decided to part ways and move on with another third, and that's when they were looking at Zapto, and of course Zapto trialed out and looked really good with the E8 roster, and things clicked very well with him also. Now of course this kind of lit a fire under Chaotic, and of course he didn't want to just kind of make it seem like he wasn't doing anything or that he wasn't valuable anymore, so he started playing with some other teams, and last night he played with the boys at GKS and they qualified. So it's really interesting because E8 was the first team to qualify, and then former E8 player was the second to qualify, and now that he's in the Pro League with E8, of course, you know, he wants to prove himself. Of course, I'm sure he wants to get his little revenge back on those guys as well. But here were the scores last night going into the finals. Now I heard a lot of complaints about this lobby. Apparently it was not good quality at all, but of course you got Saucer, you got Sleepy Panda, and Chaotic Much on GKS able to take the dub in first place, S2 in second. Now S2 is really one of the favorited teams as well. They're actually number 1 in points right now. This is Kosi, Carter, and I think Void as well. So these guys obviously are looking to probably make it, but Tripods in third place was another one that I think a lot of people were a little shocked by, because they got like really bad luck on day 1, or I guess, you know, bad skill, I guess, and they just did not even look good at all. And then here they come week 2 and they look way better than what they did for the first week. So good stuff out of them, and congratulations to Chaotic, Sleepy Panda, and Saucer once again for making Pro League. Now where will they be joining exactly? According to Minus Tempo, of course he put them in the groups itself. They're going to be joining Group A, which has TSM, and I guess this is Sweet and Friends, so Sweet Nathan and the Big Bandit guy, Oxygen, DNO, SKRT, Stallions, SF, and obviously GKS. Now of course 2 more people will be joining in these groups as well, so whoever wins next week will also be joining Group A with these guys, and then the number 4 in PSQ points will also be joining Group A as well. So of course E8 is going to be in Group B. So whenever you have Group A versus Group B play, of course you want to watch to see how Chaotic Much does against his former team E8. Going to be a lot of rivalries in this one, and that's why I really love roster mania and roster changes, because it makes the, you know, the Pro League stuff so much more interesting to watch as always. Now let's talk about these other regions as well, and then we're going to talk about overall point standing. So we'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see what's going on. Like we said, GKS wins North America. As you go into the EMEA scene, you see the finals we had. This was like Shiv's region, right? So Shiv was playing with Mandy last night. Sadly they didn't win, but they did a lot better than last week at 6th place in the finals. But the team that's going to be moving into the Pro League is Passion, and you probably know these guys if you've been watching any kind of esports for a little bit of time. This is 0-0 and Denze's team. These guys were kind of expected to do pretty good. Many people had them winning this, honestly. And then you go into the APAC North scene and you got Yoko Yare, and I actually don't know these guys, so interested to see how some of these PSQ guys do from the other regions in their Pro League. And then obviously as we go to LAN, will they actually make LAN? This is Datch and the boys. So 70 points. This was a pretty close win for APAC North. It seems like some of these other regions, I think North America was a little bit of a spread away. These guys, GKS did pretty good, and it wasn't really even that close. And then Mia Scene also, I think, had the same story. Then as you go to the APAC South, I think we've already covered this. Of course, M&K is going to be joining, and this is Bear and Win7 and Bobo. Now, second place was a shocker because this is Sharky, former world champion, Dark Zero's player. Sharky, yes, him. He's back and he's competing again in second place for Tom Young Kangaroo. These guys obviously are looking really strong, and I just honestly think they're going to make it within due time. They should be back into the limelight and should be back into the Pro League as well. Now even though you have the winners from each PSQ going into the Pro League, you still have to look at the overall points. And as it stands right now for North America, it is a very clear shot as to who's going to make it. S2 and Penis team is probably going to be like the guarantees here. Nine Lives did not have a great performance last night, but Team Penis and Team S2 have been looking really, really strong. I don't think that they will find their way out of the top 3, but according to Battlefy, of course, the 3 highest point earners here will be able to make it into this Pro League as well. So I really suggest that S2 will be one. I think Penis is pretty much a lock. The next one, I'm really not sure. It's going to be a toss-up between this, because you got to remember, just because these teams look good, we're only halfway through the PSQ. There's still another half of PSQs to go. These guys could have a really bad day. You know, Evolution, which is your Reese's squad, they might just have a bad tournament next week. You never know. Chatamus Prime has looked really, really good. I don't think that they would miss out as well, but you never know. Obviously, it's just going to be coming down to nitty-gritty details, and we'll see who's able to make it into the end. And you know, you really lose sight of a lot of these teams in the other regions, but I think one of the more prominent ones to mention is probably Vice from Alliance. You guys probably remember when Vice played with Alliance not long ago. So you know, obviously he's playing in the PSQs as well, and he's the #1 team right now over on the EMEA side. So we'll probably see him join the Pro League as well, I would imagine. Some of these other guys from the other regions I'm not really familiar with, to be honest with you, but honestly, overall, going to be interesting stuff. Interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below about all the topics mentioned in today's video. Who is your underdog going into this Pro League for year 4? Now, what's also weird is the Battlefy website says top 3 in points, but this one says Minus Hippo's thing says that 4 teams will be joining based upon points. So PSQ points number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So not really sure exactly how that's going to work, which one's actually the truth, but like I said, we'll figure it out pretty soon. Interested to see what you guys have to say, and until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.